For the Bible commentary this morning, I'm going to share the Bible teaching notes by Omar C. Garcia, and I would just read the notes because I think they are so wonderful. Isaiah 52. Zion will be restored and will prosper. Isaiah 52, 1 through 12. What good news did God announce to his people? How beautiful upon the mountain are the feet of him who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring glad tidings of good things, who proclaim salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. That's Isaiah 52, 7. God's people were given marching orders in Isaiah 52, 1 through 2. God called on his people to awake, awake. God called on his people to wake up and dress up. They were to remove the garment and chain of captivity and put on their beautiful garment. The reason for this action was the coming release from captivity. God would secure their release without money. Verse 4 contains a brief resume of the history of Israel oppression, first in Egypt and then at the hands of the Assyrian. God would no longer tolerate the abuse of his people or the blasphemy of his name. His people would again know his name and heed his voice. Verse 7 through 10 celebrates the announcement of the release of the captivity. The marching orders are recorded in verse 11 through 12. Also reference Isaiah 48:20. God also called on his people to depart. Depart. They were to depart from their captivity, taking nothing but the vessel of worship which had been stolen from them. They were to not touch or take anything unclean, a reference to the things that had led to their ruin. Some of the people, however, were reluctant to leave because they had grown accustomed to Babylon and were not looking forward to rebuilding the ruined city of Jerusalem and nation. God promised to protect them by going before them and being their rear guard. Biblical commentary, Trent C. Butler wrote, God had given the marching dress, the marching hymn, and the marching order. The only question that remained was who would join him? Partial consideration. We should forsake anything that cools our love for God. When God instructed his people to depart from Babylon, he also instructed them to avoid touching and taking anything unclean. That's Isaiah 52:12. They were to abandon the things that had interfered in their relationship with God and led them into exile. We too should avoid anything that cools our love for God, lest we end up in captivity. And that's captivity to sin. The suffering servants wrote Isaiah 52:13 and 12. How did Isaiah describe the suffering servant, the Messiah, Jesus Christ? Isaiah 52:13 through 15 contains a descriptive summary statement of the servant. First, the servant shall be exalted. Second, the servant will become disfigured through suffering, causing people to look at him with astonishment. That's Isaiah 52:14. Third, he was startle the world by his sudden rise from disgrace to fame. Isaiah 52:12. And that is the reading by Omar C. Garcia.